In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I make a pasta dough using fine Semolina Rimacinata flour and water. This dough is a classic dough from the south of Italy. I use 100% Semolina Rimacinata flour and 50% warm water. So in simple terms, for every 100 grams of Semolina Rimacinata, I use 50 grams of warm water. This fine semolina flour and hydration level allows me to form shapes like pici, lorighitas, and many more hand-formed shapes. The Semolina Rimacinata creates a soft, chewy, and tender pasta while still holding its shape nicely after it's cooked. These characteristics allow you to make thicker pasta shapes compared to thinly rolled egg pastas while still being tender and desirable to chew. Let's get started. Start by pouring your flour onto the work surface. Pinch your fingers together and make a well in the center of the flour. Make sure the walls of the flour are wide enough to contain all of the water. Add the water to the center of the well. Gently start to incorporate the flour into the water. Once the mixture has thickened just like this, that's when you know you're ready to move on to the next step of cutting the rest of the flour into the dough. Scrape the dough from the fork and start to cut the rest of the flour into the dough just like this. I like to sort of fold the dough onto itself with the bench scraper, just like this. Now we'll start to press the dough together and start to knead. This dough is fairly dry compared to our egg doughs, but it will come together. I knead by pulling the dough over itself and pressing gently like a crashing wave, north to south, and then rotating. Clean up the table a bit and continue to knead. So press gently, rotate 90 degrees, and repeat. You can see it's like a crashing wave, pulling the north side of the dough onto the center of the dough. You can start to see the surface will have a rough texture, but that is what we were looking for at this stage, and it will feel fairly dry. At this point, I transfer the dough to a plastic bag to continue to hydrate and rest for a bit. After resting, the dough will become a lot softer and easier to knead. Continue kneading for a couple of minutes. You can see the dough becoming a lot smoother on the surface, which means we are starting to build a nice strong gluten structure. Now rest again in the plastic bag. After this second rest, it will become a lot smoother and easier to knead. Continue to knead for a minute or so. You can see the surface is a bit smoother, and we can wrap it up now. Now wrap the dough in plastic wrap with the seam side up. You can sort of pleat the plastic, just like this, folding it over itself and rotating until it is completely wrapped. Store at room temperature for 1 hour or 24 hours in the refrigerator before forming shapes. And there you have it. If you have any questions or comments, definitely write them down below, and I'd love to see your progress in the pasta community page.